Hey guys, welcome to the channel, Portly Gentleman. My name is Bradley. It's great to have you. If this is your first time, please consider subscribing. It really helps me out and helps the channel grow. Research it, mash it, boil it, ferment it, drink it, analyze it, share it. Home brewing is good. So today we started off with my testing of some components. We started with my regular kind of brew day. I grabbed my beloved. It didn't take long to become my beloved, by the way. Laser cut filter. Drop this guy in the kettle. And the kind of cool thing is I'm still playing with it. It's still pretty new to me. I'm still enjoying it and testing it out, to be honest with you. Even though I produced a video, link above, check it out. It's a good video, kind of go over how I feel about it. But basically a while ago, you guys don't know, I live in Southern California. I shop at Simi Valley Homebrew when I need to go buy yeast or buy grains that doesn't come from Mecca Grade Estate Malt, which I highly recommend. High quality artisan malt. Just can't be beat. But anyways, Jay at Simi Valley Homebrew, the owner, I emailed him my order. It was a couple orders. This is grain that they crushed, not on my mill. I don't know their mill setting. I know they do a lot of single vessel stuff, but I've also seen them use rice hulls quite a bit, which I wouldn't recommend unless you're doing like a wheat beer. Just don't use it. You shouldn't need it. Maybe it's a crutch. So I went ahead and I sat on this grain. I'm like, I'm going to try it. So that's what I used today is this grain that I didn't crush. They put through their mill. They got a beautiful mill. I think it's a more beer, the big one. Anyhow, so I used their grain that they crushed and I dove in. It's that simple. I dumped it in, stirred the hell out of it because I'm not worried about the old screens moving. This stainless steel laser cut filter was not going to move on you. And just dumped it in. Didn't do a 20-minute mash rest. I might have waited 5 minutes while I did a couple of the things, but I started recirculating extremely quickly. And as you can see from this footage here, the levels, they didn't really move much. It was honestly pretty uneventful throughout the entire mash. I think I started at 140, 142, no issues. I bumped up to 150 something. And again, no issues. I had a little bit of fluctuation, but this is normal. As you heat up that grain, it starts to retain a little more. It just doesn't circulate as well. So it finally hit my mash out step, bumped it all the way up, and nothing went awry, nothing even concerned me. Nothing stuck. I had good flow through my manifold, sparged nice and slow, really helps with efficiency, I found out. It was great. So, you know, a video within a video here, guys. That laser cut filter is great. So we'll jump in to the real reason we're here. So next up here, sorry it's connected to my controller so I don't have a lot of room. But basically, this is a prototype temperature probe. It plugs into the auxiliary port on the back of your Brewtools control panel. They've all got an aux port. If you're wondering what it could be used for, it could be used for this. So basically this probe, you plug it in the back, boot up the controller, and it's going to recognize it. You'd use it to select it the same way you would cycle through to change, to change the return sensor or like a timer or something. So plug it in, it's going to work instantly and pick up readings. I found it to be quite accurate. Again, this is a prototype. I believe this is pre-production. This may not be final size or shape or even look. It's also going to come with a holder that clamps onto the side of the malt pipe. This might be good if there was a stirring system in the malt pipe, maybe. I wouldn't know anything about it, but it might be good for that. In conjunction with some things have changed. My best practices before were to always do the 20-minute mash rest. Now that I've got this laser cut filter, that just simply, 2 brews I've done it, 2 brews I've done it without. I don't think I need to do it anymore. I might give it a few minutes because I'm used to having that time. So, you know, that's going to affect the mash temp. The core mash temp is going to drop if you're waiting 20 minutes without recirculating. And that's kind of plagued the system. The system does come back up to temp on its own, but this is going to be a little bit faster reaction. You don't have to get heat back into it. You're not going to lose much heat. In my testing, my pump sensor has actually failed. It's an issue. I've got a new one on the way. Of course, it's under warranty, so don't be worried about that. But it kind of, so I'm brewing off of the kettle sensor, which is less than ideal in my opinion. When I'm mashing, I prefer to use a pump sensor, a little more accurate of actually what's coming up through my manifold. And I do love the manifold now, guys. The manifold is just going to make your sparge so much more controllable and uniform. It's going to eliminate any of that kind of channeling. Hopefully the Brewtools manifold comes out soon. But yeah, I love using manifold now with the new recirculation fittings. It's perfect. It's really a really nice move. It didn't take them that long to iterate and get these new components out to us, which is awesome. Most companies build a grainfather and just let it be the same for 5 years and then make a filter and act like it's great. So basically I tested the probe thoroughly. I moved it around within the mash, all different places, just trying to see, well, you know, there's going to be hot spots and cold spots in there. That's just the nature of brewing, I suppose, especially a system that isn't stirred, like pretty much no consumer systems are stirred that you can buy as a home brewer, you know, readily anyways. So I was able to kind of go off that and then bump up my temperature a little bit and kind of ride the lightning there to get a nice even temperature. It was fun. I did enjoy it. You might be saying, you know, Bradley, I could do the same thing with a stick thermometer, an analog or a digital thermometer, and you're indeed right. But this thermometer, since it's wired into the Brewtools control panel, it really gives you the option of being able to, you know, down the road, I would imagine they could tell the system, yeah, you know, I want to operate off of this temp. Or maybe they could tell the system, let's look at this temp and the inline and the pump temperature sensor and kind of figure out how much power we should apply for heating. I don't know if it's possible. I don't know how hard that would be, but it's something to consider nonetheless. It would be, I think it might be cool. I'd love to test that feature. Whether it ruins beer or not, I'd love to be the first to know. All right, everyone, thank you so much for staying to the end. I really appreciate it. Remember, this has been Bradley, and home brewing is good. I'll see you real soon.